8, Matt and Sila left, and I took over with Susie. We felt to begin to focus on working alongside the churches closely, to begin to craft a vision for Singapore that involved the destiny of the churches in Singapore. And so it involved us engaging with the local churches a lot more, laying down some of our YWAM programs and hearing the heart of what God is saying to the churches. It led me to get involved with Love Singapore. And out of being involved with Love Singapore, YWAM Singapore's purpose for me as to why it exists in Singapore became clearer and clearer. I believed at that time that we are to be a bridge, that we are to be a bridge between the churches and the mission field. We are to serve the churches in whatever ways that they would need to get out into the mission field, that our program that we were running was somehow to be packaged and adjusted such that it will be user-friendly for the Singapore churches to be able to get out into world mission. Some of them will go with us as part of YWAM. Some of them will go with us as part of a partnership. Some will go just by being served with our YWAM programs, of which then they will then find their place in world mission.
At the time, Singapore YWAM consists of mostly expatriates. So we will only have a handful of Singaporeans. And I believe that we were riding on God's waves. There was a whole change when several leaders came back into Singapore. And during that time, we almost have a turnover, about 300% increase of Singaporean staff coming into Singapore in a short period of time. So before that, we're pretty small staff. We have about 20 staff then, but subsequently we hit almost 60 staff in about 1 or 2 years' time. The Singaporean has a place in world mission, and that we want to see not only just a place, but we want to see many leaders being raised as a result of that and taking their place in the various nations and be a blessing to our surrounding nations.
What I look forward to seeing in YWAM's future is a home. Ever since YWAM moved out of the previous campus, all of us went decentralized. All the Singaporeans went back to their own homes, and we have not been in a community for the last 15 to 16 years. And that has affected YWAM Singapore quite a bit in terms of a community, and what we're looking forward to is to have a home that is big enough, that can accommodate all Singaporeans as well as foreigners and families together, whereby all our schools and our life of a discipling community can all be in one place. But what I really desire to see is YWAM Singapore having a home that's big enough to accommodate ex-YWAMers who are called to work in the marketplace but living out of YWAM Singapore. I desire to see a YWAM community that represents the different spheres of the society, so that every student that comes through, every missionary potential that comes through has this worldview, that God's glory is to be seen in every arena of the society. Whenever God speaks, as we take steps of obedience, God will do His part to make provision for everything that you need, and the end result is very often that will blow your mind away. That all you could do is just to stand in awe that the portion that you did out of this is just the 0.01%, and God did the 99.99%.